Hello, my name is Don Ferguson. This is my creative application project for Humanities 1020. In this project, I'm going to be discussing the architecture in Rome. Architecture is defined as the art and science of designing and erecting buildings. The ancient Romans were masters at architecture. The Romans invented concrete, which changed architecture forever. In this presentation, I'll be discussing the buildings of the Roman Colosseums, aqueducts, and Roman roads. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Roman Colosseums. The building of the Colosseum was strongly influenced by the combination of two of the Romans' great inventions, concrete and vaulted arches. Concrete was made by mixing a strong volcanic material with rubble, sand, and a mixture of limestone. The Colosseum had 4 tiers. The ceiling of the passages and corridors which circled the arena on each side consisted of vaulted arches made of concrete, but the supports in the vaulted arches rested on were made of heavy limestone. The vaulted arches made the ceiling much stronger than a flat ceiling. It took the Romans just a little less than 10 years to build the Roman Colosseum. The next few slides that I'm going to show are of the Pantheon. The Pantheon was built as a temple in Rome, which was dedicated to all the gods of ancient Rome. The Pantheon stands 158 feet high and 158 feet wide, and the facade has a classical appearance. The Pantheon has brass doors and no windows. The Pantheon was built by Marcus Agrippa, the son-in-law of Caesar. Pantheon has vaulted ceilings, and if you look at the front of the Pantheon, they have very big columns that go along with Roman architecture. Those columns are 60 tons. They were quarried in Egypt and transported by barge to Rome. Next, we're going to talk about the Roman aqueducts. The Roman Empire came to rely on a network of tunnels and arcades to supply their cities of water. The imperial baths, the monumental fountains, the watered terraces, the public water spouts, the pressurized plumbing, the flushing of the sewers all required the Roman aqueduct to deliver a large and steady volume of water. Even in ancient times, the Roman aqueducts arches were showpieces, structures designed for their appearances as well as their function. Powered entirely by gravity, they could carry large amounts of water very efficiently. Although the Romans took adequate building to new heights, they were not the first civilization to channel water long distances. The Assyrians developed a technique of tunneling that continues to be used today in the Iranian plateau and still supplies water. In the ancient Greek world, several cities had aqueducts that predate Roman occupation. Now I'm going to talk about the construction of the ancient Roman roads. The construction of the ancient Roman roads were of major importance to the Romans and their vast empire. The roads allowed fast and easy access and a vital communication network across hundreds of miles of territory. These roads were built big enough so that chariots and horses could get down the road. They also built roads that were the first to actually build roads that are side by side. So two chariots can get down the road at the same time. These roads were built with sometimes with blocks or built with stone that was smoothed out. The roads were often laid out in a straight line, and trees were cleared so that they could have enough land to build these roads. There were ditches on each side of the road so that when it rained, the water could run off the side of the road and there wouldn't be any flooding. This last slide is of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. This structure was built in 1932 and was built with a Roman feel to it. As you can see right there in the front entrance of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, there are archways such as the ones at the original Roman Coliseum. This is just to show that there are some Roman influences here in the United States in this date and time in architecture. In conclusion, Roman architecture, I guess you can say, changed the game. It gave us concrete, it gave us arches. They also developed a very unique system in as far as sewage with the aqueducts. And they built beautiful buildings that have lasted throughout history for over 700 or 800 years. At this point, this will conclude my presentation. Thank you for watching.